What's up, my fellow Sambarians? So I just made that video yesterday going over timing belts. Hopefully some of that information was helpful on deciding your next timing belt moves as to what you're going to install. And yeah, I feel like I got a pretty good response to that. So I don't always have videos to make fixing or repairing something. So maybe in that like dead space, I do videos on, going over other situations and what you should do to replace and what parts and blah, blah, blah. And I'll try to make this quick and manageable. If you're going to be cleaning your Sambar carburetor, I get this asked all the time, like what parts do I need to do a carburetor clean on my Sambar? So I know I have other videos on how to take it apart and actually do it. This one is just going to be what parts you should get and should replace while you still can, while they're still available, because who knows how much longer they'll be available for, and kind of the process in which I do it. So this I can just send to people and say, hey, watch this if you got questions about a carburetor. So if it's that time where you need to clean your carburetor and you're like, I don't even know what parts I need. How do I clean it? How should I clean it? Hopefully this video will be helpful for you. Real quick, you take your carburetor off and you're looking at this hunk of metal and you're like, oh, god dang, what do I do? I don't even know where to start. My process is take it completely apart. So here we have one. Venturi is off. And the bowl has been removed. I will take it completely apart, the bowl off. I'll take the needle seat and all that because it's got a screen. We want to clean that screen. The float, all that good stuff. I'll take the Venturi off. So we have access to all the little holes and ports and nooks and crannies that crap likes to build up in. And I put it in an ultrasonic bath. You don't need to do that, but it certainly makes it a lot easier. You can always take it all apart and use carb cleaner and spray everything and get it really clean, but an ultrasonic bath is going to get it the cleanest. So totally up to you. I think an ultrasonic bath is a good investment because you can use it for everything, not just your carburetor. Plastics, old metal tubes, and just all kinds of stuff you can clean and make stuff look brand new. So I will put this into an ultrasonic bath as it is, completely apart. Same with the Venturi, same with the bowl, same with the accelerator pump linkage and all the little tiny pieces you find inside, like the needle and the spring and the, just random stuff. I'll clean those as well. So let's say, you got it all apart, you got it cleaned. Now, what parts are you going to replace? And I say this all as what I would do. You can do whatever you want to do. If you feel like that's overkill, that's totally fine. This is how I do it because I do accept them here. You can ship me your car by cleaning them for $100. I feel like that's pretty good. $100 doesn't get you much anymore. But for $100, I will take it all apart and clean it. Obviously, all the parts and everything are separate and I replace them all because then it's just like, dang, it's done and you never have to worry about it again. You got to imagine these parts that are probably on here right now are over 25 years old. So if you replace them now, you're probably going to get another 25 years of life out of it. So I'm like, why pinch pennies when either A, that part's going to go discontinued and you can't replace it in the next few months because it's literally happening all the time, or it's going to leave you stranded and you're like, shoot, I should have just done it while it was apart. Now I've got to take it all apart again. That's just my mentality. Obviously not everybody's like that, but I'm just, I'm thinking ahead. It's going to be a lot easier to do it now than pinch pennies and be like, I don't want to replace that right now. We'll do that later. So totally do what you want to do, but I'm just saying, this is what I do. Take it all apart. And so the parts that we're going to be replacing is the accelerator pump. So when you take your bowl off, on the side there's a little plunger and it's got a black boot. That black boot rips, lets crap get inside, and then it starts ripping up the seal inside because essentially it's like a little piston And, you know, piston rings, when they get crud inside the piston rings, it starts gouging and it doesn't have a good seal or whatever. That will essentially happen in here. So I replaced the accelerator pump. I will, obviously, the gasket kit. So that has the Venturi, the paper Venturi gasket, the bowl seal, and other seals inside here. So you'll want the gasket kit for sure. I mean, at least get the gasket set so you're not putting old stuff back on there, because it will be kind of a battle to put like the bowl gasket back on. Rubber seals will swell up when gas touches them, and then it'll be really difficult to put it back on. Your fuel cutoff solenoid, which is the solenoid that is on the bottom of your carb that you don't really see. I replace that every time, because again, if it lasted 25 years, replace it now and it should last another 25. And your air fuel solenoid, which is on the top, on the Venturi. That guy looks like a silver barrel. Essentially what that's doing is letting fuel vapor come out of your gas tank, and then it goes to the carb and then goes into your charcoal canister. I believe that's the situation, or it burns it off, I don't know. But anyways, if that solenoid isn't working properly, it either A, shorts out, pops fuse, and then leaves you stranded, or B, it's not opening, so fuel vapor lock is happening in your gas tank, and the carburetor will shut down because it's not allowing fuel to pump out of the gas tank anymore. And that's the big whoosh noise you get when you open up the gas tank. So essentially you can replace that, the air fuel solenoid, and the fuel cutoff solenoid. That will give you really, really hard cold starts, because if that's not working properly, essentially the needle, if it's not retracting, it doesn't want to let the fuel go into the carburetor, and then if it isn't working properly when you shut it off, it might diesel, so it'll stay running for a little bit because there's still fuel slowly leaking into the carburetor, in simple terms. So it just kind of won't shut off. Maybe the thermal valve on the back. It's that two little valve guy with the brass fitting that goes inside the bowl. Typically I don't replace them, but they do break. If you're back there tinkering, you might break off one of the little prongs. So you can replace that if you feel like you want to. But another thing that I like to replace if it's bad is the piston choke set, which is the diaphragm on the back of the carburetor. That will essentially, if it goes bad, when you start up your Sambar on a cold start, I've noticed it will make the Sambar run like it's got a misfire. It's kind of jumpy a little bit because the flap isn't holding vacuum, so it's, you know, going up and down. It will make it smoke a lot because you're burning off excess fuel because the choke isn't working properly, and fuel can dump into your crankcase and essentially burn your bearings up. So it's always good to stay on top of that guy. So if it's burning pretty, you know, some white smoke at startup, pretty smoky, your piston choke set might be bad. And I've shown in other videos how to test it, but basically if you have your carburetor off, you can push the plunger up, put your finger over the tip, and then just hold it there. This one is slowly falling down, so I'm going to be replacing it. But if it's staying in one spot, then it's good. You should be fine, and especially after you clean it, it seems to help these little plungers out quite a bit, because I don't know if dirt gets inside there and it doesn't have a good seal. But I've noticed ones that weren't working, I cleaned them, they were working afterwards. I don't know, it was weird. So just, you know, maybe cleaning it might help. In an ultrasonic bath, that is. I don't know about spraying with carb cleaner or anything, but when I put it in an ultrasonic bath, a lot of times if it wasn't holding vacuum before, it would hold vacuum afterwards. It's really weird, I'm not sure. But I'm just going to replace this one to be safe, because I'm selling this carburetor as a whole and I don't want it to act up later. So like I said, you can push the plunger up, put your finger on there, and if the arm stays in one place, good. If it drops down slowly, then it's no good, and that's going to cause those cold start issues. You got your Venturi diaphragm on the other side. Now, same deal, put your finger in front of it. If it holds, good. If it drops down slowly, like slowly, that's okay. It shouldn't cause too many problems. But if it just drops down like instantly, then it's definitely not any good, and it's going to cause issues. And unfortunately, we can't replace that part. you will have to find another carburetor. Just kind of keep that in mind. If it's a slow drop down, you should be okay. If it's quick and just goes down instantly, then yeah, that's going to definitely cause some problems. And just find another parts carb or reach out to me. I have, I've got a ton of carbs here. Maybe I've got an extra one lying around at that time. But yeah, that's how I clean the carbs. I take them completely apart, throw them in an ultrasonic bath. If you don't have an ultrasonic bath, you could do your best with a carb spray and just jetting out all the little holes and ports and orifices, trying to get as much gunk out as possible. Because the problem you will have is the bowl. There's actually, you can hear that. There's actually like a little bearing in there that's pressed in there, so you can't physically touch it, see it, can't get to it. But if that jingling isn't happening when you shake the bowl, then that means it's plugged up, and that's going to cause issues as well. So you want to try to free that little bearing up inside there. And if you can't free it up, then again, you're going to need another carburetor, unless you can figure out how to take it apart. But I don't have time to do that stuff. I would rather just replace it and be done with it, because it's not a guarantee it's going to work anyways. So it's like, I don't want to waste a bunch of time when I can still just get another bowl. I don't have the answers for everything, but if you want your Sambar running properly, just get a working carburetor. That's just going to make your life a lot easier. For now anyways. When they become extinct and we can't get stuff for them, then we will have to, desperate measures for desperate times. But yeah, once you have that apart, you can take your little needle seat out. There's a screen on the bottom of it. You can clean that. You can clean your float. Make sure your float is looking normal, nothing completely out of the ordinary. Yeah, all good parts to replace when rebuilding your carburetor. And let's just say you pull yours apart and it happens to look like this. Crusty, someone used gasket sealer to hold the float. I have no idea what's going on here. This little brass tube that goes into the bowl is completely missing because it probably froze inside the bowl. At that point, I would just start over. I would get another carb, because you may try to fix this, but it's not probably going to run correctly ever, unless you just got, you're super OCD and want to make it work. Have at it. But at that point, it's like, just get another carburetor from Japan, clean it, rebuild it, start over. Oh yeah, and last but not least, you can replace the paper gasket and the 2 rubber seals that are in the set that goes to the intake manifold. So you have your plastic insulator, you have this rubber seal that goes around the intake manifold and the coolant. And yeah, replace the paper one because it will rip. You can reuse your old plastic insulator. I just always replace it. Sometimes it's just quicker to replace it than to try to clean it off. And then there's a rubber O-ring seal inside sandwiched between the plastic insulator and the carb body. And then there's the one that gets sandwiched between the insulator and the intake manifold. If that is not correct, you will get coolant into your carb, into your intake manifold, into your your paper gasket, and it will ruin it. So just make sure those 2 O-rings are in there, or those 2 seals are in there. Again, all parts that I have on my website, or obviously still available in Japan, all that stuff is not discontinued as of yet. But that's why I'm like, hey, if you can do it now, do it before they become discontinued. But again, I do offer this service here for $100. I will take your carburetor and clean it. And not just Sambars, Suzuki's, Daihatsu's, Mitsubishi's, whatever, Hondas. I have the rebuild kits for the Hondas as well. So if that's something you don't feel comfortable doing, you can most certainly send me your carb. I've been doing this for a couple years now, so I have a pretty good idea of what I'm looking for. And if something doesn't look right, then obviously it's like, okay, we need to fix that before it's too late reinstalling it. And then it's like, oh shoot, what went wrong? I was trying to make that hopefully informative and quick. I want to try to make videos. I probably said this earlier, I don't know now, but in between that like dead space of not working on anything, maybe try to make some videos of just information about parts and what you should do and what you should replace. Just so I can keep stuff flowing and keep you guys informed. Because I feel like when I stop making videos for a while, people always go, hey, you still doing this stuff? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I'm still doing this stuff. I'm outside working on these things almost every day. I just don't have a lot of time to post videos all the time. So doing stuff like this is easy. So I will try to pump out stuff like this every once in a while, and maybe comment on, you know, something else that might help. I may do a video on it. I might not. Don't get offended if I don't. There's a lot of stuff I get requests for, and I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. I probably won't do that, but thank you. But yeah, if you got something maybe you want a little more information on and you think other people could benefit from it, comment. That would be awesome. And subscribe and all that good stuff if you'd like. I'm going to start trying to pump out more videos all the time to stay somewhat relevant. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Check out my timing belt video if you haven't already. That will certainly help you if you need to do your timing belt, and what you're gonna pick and choose and blah blah blah, all that fun stuff. But cool, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.